secret. Because the main hero of the story is the reader. Instead of following cops or any hero, you are my hero. Because this lady is going to slice her story in 4 parts, and you will learn some stuff, some little stones. And at the end, just 6 chapters before the end, you know the truth. Well, that's what you think. Because in a mountain, you only have 2 verses. One face and the opposite. You will learn that 6 chapters at the end, or even at the end of the story, you will know that at page 1, you knew everything, but you have never seen it. So my story is taking place in Harlem, well, in Houma at first, and as Gone with the Wind, the love story that we have between Scarlett O'Hara and Red Butler, which thrill everyone, but what we like also is all the historical point of view, which carry on the story. Because he doesn't love me, he loves me. He doesn't love me, he doesn't love me, he loves me. That's very simple. But what happened to Atlanta? What happened to all these families, Southerners families? I think that carries the story. Abby, this is 53 minutes, a meeting of 53 minutes inside an apartment on the 3rd floor, I changed, 139 West 929th Street. 53 minutes. Is it love? Is that? No. But the story, my pleasure was to put someone like us, how would we react if we face a historical fact? What would we do, what would we say, what would we think, etc. And Abby is going to follow the path of history, the New York history. Things happened in 1943 that I've never heard before I started my research. When I heard that Harlem was the worst place in New York, I said, okay, why? Because plenty of things happen that we don't know. Riots, for example, during the First World War II, during World War II, we had, that the Ku Klux Klan was a Southerner movement at first. That's why we fought. But in the North, they sent many whiteys to the North and started riots in Detroit, in New York, saying that it was the blacks who were doing it. For instance, one story, a big riot happened between the 1st and the 3rd of August 1943. The fact is, the story is, the press release was a black soldier, an Afro-American black soldier, GIs, was killed by a cops because these GIs tried to protect a lady, a black lady, who was attacked by this police officer. The truth is, the GIs never died that day. The truth is, rumors, all the things that you can hear, was made up by the KKK. And after that, they pushed the black community to be on riot, to be on strike. At this time, they said that they had 100,000 destroyed buildings and all things, which would be today over $1 million. Yeah. And how Abby reacted at this time, you will see. What happened at this time, you will see. So I put myself like to follow the path of Margaret Mitchell. And you have heard maybe that late of the year 2017, a lot of people started to started to have grievance against Margaret Mitchell, saying that it was not the truth about what happened in the South about the black community. 8 months of work, of researches, not saying that I know the truth, but having lived as an alien and something different within a community will look at me like a stranger, like a different person, like a whitey. Well, it lasted just 5 days, but during that 5 days, I saw something, and it was my tribute to them, because these people, all the people that I've met, that I crossed their path, they gave me the opportunity to be the man that I am today, and who is achieving his word given by giving my first English presentation tonight to you. So you must understand that for me it's a beautiful thing. So I'm open to questions if you have about my story or about any New York facts that I've crossed or lived or whatever, and it's up to you. I don't tell much about the story because this is the meeting. It is not, I can't tell much because I can't. Because you are the hero. I can say that. You are the hero. But people, when they say, oh, it's like a book where you are the hero, so I'm going to choose it. No. It's because the meeting will give you something. And I can't tell. Because if I say anything about it, I must eat my tongue. That's what she says. And so it's just, it's a dark novel. A French journalist, compared this book to be the black and white version of Gone with the Wind, which is right, because to honor my grandmother's memory, I wanted to write a saga, my own Gone with the Wind. And with Harlem, with all these things, I say, oh, she's going to be happy one day. When we are going to meet again, she's going to be happy. I never look at any contest for this book. I never claim to win any prize for this book, because the first book is like a draft for me. It's, okay, maybe I got something, and maybe this something is going to permit me to sign a publishing contract, maybe. After 3 years and a half, well, after 2 years and a half, when I started the 2017 year, I went to Lyon to meet readers with other French writers, and I've been invited, so it was great. And suddenly, one of the writers told me that a lot of things are going to happen to you. You know that this year, because you start your 3rd year, and you know that something is going on. Something happened between your 3rd and 4th year as a newcomer in the writing area. I said, okay, so you need 4 to 6 years to become a real writer. Yeah, because we have to recognize your way of writing and all that stuff. Okay. And 1 week after that, I received my first selection as my first entry as a literary award. By today, surprisingly, I got 15. I already won 2 awards without any publisher. Well, 3 weeks ago, it could have been right, but 3 weeks ago I signed my publishing contract, so yeah, cool. It's not, I won't behave saying I'm the best in the world, but people have met Abby. Meaning that I've never put myself in front, but like I told you, Gone with the Wind was a major book for me. Because I remember that who wrote it? Scarlett O'Hara and Red Butler. And the main thing is, when you read Abby, you will remember forever Abby, not me. My name is dessert in France, Liégeois. Chocolate or coffee. And what's interesting about that, I think, like I said while I was writing the book, that I was living in a basement. And maybe one day I will come from the blind side and you will see something new. I don't say that I have any talent. I don't say that I have any skill. I believe just in work, like they taught me. Like they say, hard work, discipline, and stay healthy. Voilà. Est-ce que vous avez des questions? I apologize for my faults. Maybe plenty of them, and it's my first time to talk like that. So.
Any questions?
Are you going to write another one? Another book? Are you going to write another book?
How far along are you on your second?
I'm going. Okay, I like the philosophical approach of a book. This one is about being or not a coward. Like you have Hercules, you have heard about Hercules and these 12 works. So, as you can see, there's a one. Instead of having a thriller which takes place with 2 cops or whatever, my main idea, which has been applauded by my publisher, is I'm talking about the precinct. Precinct, the 10th precinct. 10THPRECENCT. 12 letters, 12 inquiries, 12 files taken from the underground, from the basement of the 10th precinct. And the first story is Abby. The second one that I'm working on is for my sons that I haven't seen for the past 2 years. I made a promise on Halloween's 2014 that on September 2017 we would go all together to New York to meet Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and also my younger boy. I've seen with me, well, we went to the theater and saw the Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp. And he fell in love with Johnny Depp as an Indian. Well, Indian is not the right word with that people. Even native is not a good word. And this came that my second file will speak about us coming to the United States. It will be instead of having an opera, my second file will be a valse in 3 times. And we're going to meet a guy, a detective called John D. Bealey, who is from the Shinnecock tribe that I've met in Long Island this summer. If you check on YouTube, you will see my interview of Lance A. Grams, who is chairman of a board of Indian American, and my second files will speak about another philosophical aspect. After being coward, it will be something else. Voila. Any more questions?
Certainly continue
Yeah.
over a class and some munchies. You know, ask away while we're doing.
Well, thanks so much. I hope that I've done great. But,
You did fantastic.
well.